If you're watching this, you're likely thinking about moving to San Diego. Today we're going to get into a very cool neighborhood in the north section of San Diego. About a 30-mile drive to the airport, still relatively affordable, only a 20-minute drive to the beach, and super convenient, as we'll show you today. We're going to get into a deep dive of this master plan community in Vista. This is Shadowridge. Let's go grab a coffee before we get started.
We got our coffee down at Skybound right here. Cool little spot. We've had client meetings down there, desserts and coffee. They were super nice in there too. They're also like, hey, nice shirt, nice people here in Vista. I was like, thanks. Great coffee, good people. Nonetheless, there's a few different little shopping centers in here, not a ton. You're not gonna find like big box stores. Right behind us is the Albertsons. That's like your main shopping center. We're walking right towards a CVS. And just looking around, there's just like a lot of those, you know, Taekwondo, there's a nail spot, an H&R Block. That's like a lot of what you're gonna find in here as you're going through here. A little bit of strip malls. We're gonna show you some local spots here shortly that are within here. Just because there are a lot of local spots, even though they are in little strip malls, it's like nothing fancy, but there's some good little spots to eat. So we're gonna go check those out. The area as a whole is pretty convenient. Where it's located, there's a lot of different shopping centers, a lot of different areas, a lot of different ways to get to all these little spots, to go different places to if you need those big box stores.
So from here to the east, you have a Target center, you've got Walmart, you've got a whole bunch of amenities in that direction off of Sycamore. As you go to the south, you have Home Depot, which is probably my favorite Home Depot just because it's always empty.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
Secret.
You've also got the secret Target. There's a secret Target. South Vista Target is down in that direction. You also have Bressy Ranch, which is super close to Shadowridge, so a ton of restaurants and a lot more amenities down there as well.
Yeah, we were just down there, filmed our last vlog. We ended at Bressy Ranch, but it's like one of the walkable neighborhoods right here in San Diego.
And then to the west, you have Costco. And then north in kind of that north section of Vista, you have Lowe's, you have just a ton of other amenities, and that's also where we're going to end today too.
Yeah, we're going to end up there. Super cool. It's a distinct area here in Vista. It's been here for a while. It's seen a bit of a revitalization over these past few years, so we're going to go check those out. But first, I want to show you guys some local spots, and we're going to go to the neighborhood shortly. But first, I wanted to show you, like, if you're living up here, where are you guys going to go eat? Where are you going to go hang out? What are you going to do? So we're going to show you some local spots right around here too before we hop into the neighborhood. And while a lot of these places right here in Vista, just little strip mall looking things, nothing, it doesn't look too special. It's not like if you go down to Coast Highway, you have a bunch of unique buildings and restaurants and stuff, but you do still have a lot of local spots in here. Like we just went to Skybound. Right behind us is True Philly. I checked it up online. It was 4.5 stars. I'd have to run it by my Philly friend Eddie to see where it rates, but it's highly rated right here in San Diego. So you got a boba place right here, right down the road, Hungry Bear Deli. Just in the next little shopping center up here, you have Nucci's, a nice little Italian spot. We went there for, I think it was like around Christmas time a few years ago with my mother-in-law. Really good spot, awesome people in there too. And then one of the best things about right here in this area is the breweries. So Cassidy, who's filming right now, calls it the Sycamore Corridor right over there. One of my favorite breweries over there is Pure Project. It's like right off the main drag there too. You also have Belching Beaver. They have a great little pub there. So, I mean, there's countless other ones too. If you guys like beer, you like local breweries, this is one of the hubs right here in San Diego as a whole. Not just North County San Diego, as San Diego as a whole. And right next to the cheesesteak place that we just showed, there's a Boba Hut and Deli. We just met the gal there. Super nice. If you guys are in here and cruise around and exploring this area, go say hi to her.
Get some boba.
Get some boba. But she also has sandwiches. I saw on her menu she has pulled pork. It's gotta be killer. She's been here 13 years, so go say what's up. Give her a little support.
Now we're walking through one of the neighborhoods here in Shadowridge, which is a master plan community built in the 80s and 90s. A ton of homes. This is a huge project, and it's all centered around the Shadowridge Country Club. It's a great country club. It's a little bit on the smaller side, but the community has a ton of golf course view homes, which is a big positive here too. But what you're getting is kind of a lot of that starter home size. So in that like 13, 14, 1,500 square feet for a detached house, and then all the way up to the sky's the limit. And then there are also a ton of townhome and condo options as well.
And we're gonna show you the inside of one of these homes and kind of give you the breakdown of how it compares to other homes in the area, just to give you a little idea of, you know, what to expect up here. But once again, master plan community, so we're gonna avoid this pole we're gonna run into right now. But it is just like a lot of the other master plan communities where you have a lot of the same. You're not custom up here, which is kind of cool. Keeps the cohesiveness of this area. As we're walking down here, one thing to think of is, yeah, it's walkable, sidewalks everywhere. When I say walkable, that's what I mean. Like, you're not walking to, there's certain areas that you could walk to some of those shops and stuff we just showed you, but mostly like walking in the neighborhood. As we're walking through here, there's people walking their dogs, little strollers going through the neighborhoods. But as far as one thing we did just realize, not realize, but a lot of these neighborhoods, even though the streets are super wide, you can only park on one side. So one whole lane is fire, or one whole side rather is fire lane. The other side you can park on. So just one thing to keep in mind, whatever, it's not a huge deal. Just you'll see it in a lot of these neighborhoods. The signs are all up and stuff. But last thing, just wanted to call out, yes, it is trash day again here. As with any time we film out in the neighborhoods, it seems like it's trash day every day. But what is today? It's Friday, November 8th. We're gonna get into the weather here too in a sec. And as a quick reminder, we love making these videos for you, but we'd also love to earn your business if you are thinking about moving out this way. Maybe it's the area that we're covering today, maybe it's not. We could definitely find some other sections of San Diego that might work for you. But first step is you gotta call, you gotta text, you gotta email, reach out to us. We want you guys to reach out, start that conversation so that we can really dive in for your specific search, because we're just doing broad neighborhoods, but your specific search is gonna be a lot different. So feel free to reach out because we got your back when making the move here to San Diego.
So let's get into the parks here in Shadowridge. Right now we're at Thibodeau Park, which is a little bit more of like a natural park. You do have tennis courts and pickleball courts back here, as well as a playground, a couple picnic tables and stuff. Really pretty up here. You do have Shadowridge Park, which has a big green space for kicking the ball around. You've also got a playground there, and then you go back to where we started, right next to the Rancho Buena Vista High School is Rancho Buena Vista Park, which has a 2-mile loop hiking trail, a duck pond, get out there and feed some ducks. And then also you have ball fields for Little League and softball. And if you are looking for a little bit more hiking, we showed you a couple weeks ago in a video, Calvera Hills is just around the corner from Shadowridge. So you can get out there and get some hiking. And there's obviously a ton more options around San Diego. And if you're looking for kind of a larger park with more amenities, you don't have to go too far up into the foothills. Kind of the north section of Vista is Bringle Terrace Park, which has disc golf. It has tennis courts, baseball fields. It's got a ton of stuff there in Vista.
Now back into the communities. One thing about all of Shadowridge is it's all within a HOA, and there's a bunch of different little villages, little areas. They're all going to have their own unique little kind of differences, but they're all also relatively all the same. A lot of them you're going to find like not a ton of amenities, but a lot of them have like a little pool area, maybe a little spa area, but not much. You're not going to find like big community centers or anything like that. And there's actually like the master HOA, and then each community is going to have its own little HOA. So compared to other neighborhoods that we have done in the past, just as far as how many homes are up here, there's quite a few. Compared to like when we just covered Encinitas Ranch a few weeks ago, there's like 500 homes. There's way more than this. This is more comparable to San Elijo Hills as far as the number of homes and the size of the community.
There's not a ton of green space within these communities, not a ton of pocket parks and things like that. So if you're in these spots, you're going to be driving to a lot of the parks.
And we're going to hop into the studio real quick and show you a home that is actually on the market right now. I'm going to go through it and show you kind of what potentially has been upgraded, what might be original, show you the yard, which is pretty unique for this particular property, and give you some insight into what else you're going to find right up here in Shadowridge. So here's the house that we were just standing in front. I'm going to give you a run through on some of the similarities you'll find in other Shadowridge homes and some differences. One of the big differences is the lot size. This one's a little bit bigger than most. A lot of them are a little bit closer, as you can see up in this section here. They're a little bit tighter in there. You do have a nice front yard. A lot of the backyard's kind of hill, but nonetheless, you're going to find a varied size of lots in here. As we go to the backyard, you see a big concrete slab. Once again, mostly hill back here. And then we're going to go into so as with most of these properties, up here, you're going to find some sort of pool area. This one has a little bit of a spa. Other than that, like we mentioned, not a ton of other amenities. Once we get up into the kitchen, you can see the cabinets right here. I'll swing you around and show you the other side, but a lot of these cabinets, these are probably the original cabinets. Countertops have been upgraded at some point, not necessarily anytime recently, but you can see all the original cabinets here. Stainless fridge. These look somewhat newer, but you do have all of the appliances right there. As we jump into this a little bit further, the sink's a bit newer, but as you're looking here, these are like those square kind of tile granite slabs here. So it's not like a solid piece. It looks like it is kind of like granite tiles, which isn't a new style. It was probably, 15, 20 years ago style, but it definitely is upgraded from when it was first fixed, or when it was first built rather. Up here, you do have an original light fixture. The flooring, not original, but once we get upstairs, you'll see definitely needs an upgrade there. Here is the living room. As you can see, going into the backyard. Back there, you get a little bit of grass. Here's the hill coming down there. Here's the concrete slab. You do have a fireplace here. I'll get in that in a little bit. Can't tell if the windows have been upgraded. You can usually tell if they have kind of like this white vinyl outline here. Can't really tell. And as with a lot of these homes, even the single story homes, I'm going to show you one more after this, a lot of vaulted ceilings. So you do have where you walk in, it's not those 8-foot ceilings. Usually you usually do have a little bit of space. So flooring is definitely not original, but also not brand new. So especially going upstairs, a lot of this carpet would probably need to be replaced. And some of the things that are easy to replace, I'll tell you as we're going through this too. And some of the things that are going to cost a little bit more to replace, I'll let you know that as well. So one thing that's fairly easy and not too terribly expensive to replace is carpet. So yes, this carpet would definitely need to be replaced, but we have a great carpet guy. He also does different types of flooring. He also does countertops. So all that kind of stuff. We have a really good guy for that. He can come into and give you the full rundown of how much it's going to cost, what kind of styles you're looking at, give you a few samples, and let you decide what is the best way to go forward. Paint is another thing that's not too bad. So you can see the walls are probably a little bit beat up. I can't tell, there's probably a picture hanging right there or something, but definitely going to need some new carpet. Once you get to the bathrooms, this part of the bathroom is going to be easy to replace. A new mirror, go to Home Goods. You get some simple vanities at Home Depot for relatively affordable, where they do have the cabinet down here. The lighting fixtures, not too bad. Once it does start getting a little bit pricier is when you start doing the tubs and the showers, and you're looking at tile work, you're looking at potentially some replumbing. This is definitely the original, where you do have the white tile, little mini tile surround. Some of the original kitchens had that as well. So, but like this area, yeah, you get a dual vanity, Home Depot kind of thing, lighting, mirror. Once you start getting into this section, that's when it does get a bit more. Once again, carpet's going to be replaced, not too much of a cost there. And as we go into the other rooms here, you can see jumping into the garage. One thing about the garages here in San Diego, a lot of people are using garages for storage, for gyms, for that kind of things. You can see there was a car probably parked right here. This looks like some oil or something, but you do, a lot of people, you're going to see extra fridges in their garages. A lot of people are going to have, like, all on the outside here, maybe up top here, definitely on this side, some sort of storage that is built in for bikes, for tools, for just putting your junk out there. So we don't have the basements. This is what we are basically using as our basements. Some people do park in there, some don't, just kind of varies. But as we're going through, once again, original tub right here, that's where you get a little pricier. This is just the original, one-piece tub that they put in when they were building all of these homes out here. And going through, you can see a lot of these homes are going to have, the next home I'm going to show you real quick, it has a little bit, it's like a laundry closet. This one has a laundry room. Once you get those bigger footprint homes, you're going to get that. And some are going to have some more storage at the top up here. This one looks like it only has 2 of the cabinets. And then I just want to show you this one real quick because it's a different style. It is a bit smaller. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 1,300 square foot, just under 900,000, but it's a lot more fixed up. It's a lot more dialed in. There's pros and cons to this one. It does share one wall here. So the way this particular neighborhood is set up, you have end unit on the other side, and then you have the middle units. So the end units are going to have a little bit more value. They're going to be a little bit more desirable because you're only sharing that one wall. As you go to here, you have a nice big area to cruise around. I don't know if this one is part of the HOA or part of the actual home. Some of these times when you get into these townhomes, the front yards are shared community space, but you're not necessarily going to see people cruising through here. So you can definitely, as you're living here, go out the front door, let your kids run around. It's pretty cool to have that amenity. That's one of the benefits you do get with some of these end units here. And as we're going to go inside, you can see much more updated, newer shaped cabinets, the countertops. As we go into there, I'll show you that a little bit more. Once again, another fireplace. I believe this one is gas too. The other one had a gas fireplace. A lot of homes here in San Diego have fireplaces, which is kind of funny. We don't use them all that much. I have one at my house. I've used it maybe 12 times, maybe a little bit more, maybe 15 times in the 10 plus years I've been living at my home. Mine is wood burning, so a little bit more difficult. These gas burning ones are super simple. Turn them on, flick a switch, or throw in the lighter, and you're good to go. And once again, this one's got paint's looking good. You do have the vaulted ceilings again. So even though this one is single story, you do have the taller ceilings. So you're not feeling like just those 8-foot ceilings right above your head. Yeah, this one, you could tell it's a little gas. There's the little key to turn it on as well. See these windows here? These look like they are the newer windows. They do have those white vinyl, the dual pane, a little bit newer, updated, that kind of stuff. As we get into, real quick, back here too. The floorings, this is probably that luxury vinyl plank that I was talking about, super durable. There's another style that's out right now. I forget the exact name, but newer countertops. These are the solid one-piece countertops. I don't think they're granite. They could be some composite of some sort, but a lot of can lighting. So you can tell this place has been much more updated, obviously a lot smaller, but you're gonna find that mix in Shadowridge where some people have been living there a long time and are currently moving out and haven't done a ton of upgrades. Some have, this one's been moved in. It's now they upgraded, now they're gonna sell it. And this one is 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This looks like it is not one of the bedrooms. It's probably like a little office space right here, right off the living room here. So potentially, yeah, they're obviously using it as an office, but the other 2 bedrooms are a little bit bigger. So here is your shower, nice dialed in, somewhat new, matching countertops as the kitchen out there. And then just a nice mirror where it's not just the original ones that were like glued on there. Here is the little closet, laundry closet. So a little bit more space, a little bit more storage, but you don't necessarily have that full laundry room. Here is one of the bedrooms. Here's another bedroom. This one does have the vaulted ceilings in there as well. Give you a little space and a little tiny patio out here. On the other side of that patio is the front yard, the front area. So here you go, right there. Nice little seating area outside. Updated here. Looks like the other shower is updated as well. So you're good there. There's a little patio. And once you get into the backyard, that's another downside here. The backyards are going to be smaller. I'm going to show you the other angle here. This picture was probably taken from right over here, so I made it look a lot bigger, but they're pretty small. Little grass area, little patio area. You can fit a nice little table out there, have some dinner, whatnot. So not tiny. Like it's not just walk out, you don't have any space, go back in. You do have a little bit of room. And this one also has one of those community pools. So you'll find that in a lot of those areas of Shadowridge. But let's go back and tour the area. And now we're at amenity. We're at the Shadowridge Country Club. It's not really one of the reasons a lot of people move up here, but it is an added bonus. Cassidy was just telling me that one of our clients did reach out to see like initiation fees, and it's a little bit much, but this place is gorgeous. I've never played here. Cassidy holding the camera did, but it is right in the center of the community. You have a ton of houses right around. So if you didn't want golf course views, that's definitely feasible right up here. And one thing I did want to mention too, that we were going to mention earlier, but I didn't, is how gorgeous it is today. November 8th. What are we looking at for the weather here? 72 degrees.
Nailed it.
Beautiful day here. One thing that you can see a little bit of a breeze maybe in the flag as we were walking up, but there is something called Santa Ana winds that came through earlier this week. And that's one of the times it's warmer winds coming from, usually we have coastal winds. It's warmer winds coming from the east where we do get warmer winds and a little bit of that fire danger. So these last few days we get on fire alerts. You'll see the news, you'll get alerts and stuff. Doesn't happen too often, but this is kind of one of the time frames that it does happen but it does blow all the clouds out of here and it just is gorgeous. But golf course is here. They have a driving range, they have a putting green, they have 18 holes of golf, and it's just a central hub right here in the heart of Shadowridge.
Here in Shadowridge, if you have kids, schools are Vista School District, so for all of this area. So you've got elementary, middle, and high school. It's right here, kind of right in Shadowridge.
Yeah, RBV High School is right there, right next to the Skybound Coffee where we first started. I don't know about now, but growing up, they did have a great wrestling program, so I'm not sure about that anymore. My mom used to work there for a long time, but have a bunch of friends who graduated from RBV, as they call it here. As far as elementary schools, it really depends on which side of Shadowridge you are on. You're going to either go to Lake Elementary or you're going to go to Breeze Hill Elementary. So there's a line there, and then Madison is the middle school. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty, there's not a ton of options up here, but that's what you'll find for the schools right here in Shadowridge.
This is the spot we mentioned at the beginning of our video. This is Main Street Vista. So Shadowridge obviously has a ton to offer in amenities, conveniences, but this is where you're going to come if you're trying to grab a beer. Maybe it's a date night. There's a lot of cool places here and that have been here forever, but we've seen a huge revitalization of here on Main Street, also South Santa Fe, a couple of cool spots where you have a bunch of brand new breweries. You've got Belgian Beaver right behind you. You have the Poorhouse up here. You have Beer Garden right behind Chris. You have a lot of options when it comes to restaurants around here, which is why it is such a popular spot now. You also have a little bit more amenities. We mentioned Lowe's earlier. That's kind of just right at the end of this main drag here. You have a center that has Sonopolis. You have Fraser Farms. You've got a lot of other amenities right here, kind of in this Main Street, the village of Vista, if you will. Also, there is a farmer's market kind of in right near the highway and Melrose in Vista every Saturday. So definitely something worth taking a look at. And we're gonna go to one last spot, one of our favorite spots, just moved here to Vista last year.
Here's the spot, Virgin Beer Company. Their main headquarters is in Carlsbad. Started with some local boys. Great local beer right here in San Diego. They have a few other places around town, but if you guys are out exploring and you like beer, right here is a good spot. One thing we also didn't mention over in Main Street every year, Vista used to be like the strawberry capital of the world, is what they claimed. But they have the Strawberry Festival every year. So it's one of the events they have downtown. And
I don't think you claim that unless you mean it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Encinitas was like the flower capital of the world. I don't know. Is it real? Who knows? Either way, it's good marketing. So just really cool place, really cool vibes. All of this, Main Street, all that, we'll show you on the map and whatever, but not too far. So you do have access to all this stuff too. I don't know if Cassie mentioned the movie theater back there, Sonopolis, just a lot of good stuff up here. So if you are thinking about moving out here, maybe it's this place, maybe it's not, hit us up. Let's get that conversation started. We would love to earn your business. If you're thinking about buying a home right here in San Diego, call, text, or email. So we got your back when we make the move here to San Diego.